Hey there, I'm Emma, 31 years old, and let me share a bit of advice with you. Perfect is not always as perfect as it seems. Now, let me tell you about my marriage with Drew, my ex-husband. He was that person you think will stick around forever, the one you rely on. But life has this funny way of throwing bricks at you when you least expect them. We met during college, both working for a children's organization during summer break. Destiny has its way, and we kept our friendship alive through college. After graduation, luck had it that we landed jobs in the same city. Seemed like a good idea to save money, so we moved in together. Little did we know life had its own plan. Love blossomed over time. Drew was the first to admit it. And we thought we were nailing both our careers and relationship goals. We even introduced each other to our parents, who were nothing but accepting. The perfect love story, right? Well, it gets better. Drew popped the question, and just like that, we were married, living my happiest life, going to work, coming back home, spending quality time together. Weekends were a blast with friends. But even when it was just the two of us, it felt complete. Or at least, that is what I believed. One day, things changed. It started with a call from my cousin, Alana. Hey, Alana. It's so unexpected to hear from you. Yeah, just because we don't talk often doesn't mean we don't share a special bond, right? So, what is the occasion for this surprise call? Well, brace yourself, Emma. It is not exactly uplifting news. What do you mean? Is everything okay? I don't want to drop a bomb, but you need to know. Alana, you're scaring me. Just spill it. Okay, so I tried this blind dating site my friend recommended. No names, no pics, just conversations, and if it feels right, you meet up. Oh, don't tell me you're engaged, are you? I would be so happy if that is the case. Emma, this is serious. Let me explain. I matched with this guy, and after chatting for a while, we decided to meet at a cafe around 3. Cut to the chase, what happened? I showed up at the cafe and it was packed. I asked the waiter if there was a certain gentleman waiting for me, as we were on a blind date. The waiter happily pointed me to a person sitting at a table. Stop building the suspense. Well, there is no other way to say this, but that guy, it was true. He was sitting there, and as soon as I saw his face, I stormed out of the cafe. Wait, are you sure? Was it my Drew? I am 100% sure. I know we have only met a couple of times, but I still follow you on social media. I am sorry to tell you this. It must be confusing. If you're playing a sick joke on me, it's not funny, Alana. I just can't talk to you right now. This is ridiculous. So after hanging up on Alana, I was full of anger and confusion. I trusted Drew blindly, thinking there had to be some misunderstanding. It was a Saturday and Drew was out golfing with a friend. My suspicion got the better of me, and I did something I never imagined doing. I snooped around. I started with Drew's laptop, but it revealed nothing. My quest for the truth led me to his iPad. There, I combed through everything. No sign of the blind dating app that Alana mentioned. But then, there it was. Tinder. The app I never thought I would see on his device. I hesitated, but clicked on it, exposing conversations with other girls. I could not turn away. Reading through exchanges, plans to meet up, it was all there. That sinking feeling set in. Was he with one of those girls at that very moment? Lying about golfing with his friend? My mind raced, coming up with the worst kind of scenarios. Regret gnawed at me for hanging up on Alana. She was just trying to help, and I was somewhat impolite. Now that I had some type of undeniable proof, I had to call her back. Hey, Alana, I owe you an apology for hanging up earlier. It was just a lot to take in, you know? No worries, Emma. I get it. Finding out something like this is never easy. So, did you find anything? I did not find any blind dating app, but there's Tinder on his iPad. The conversations are recent, from just 2 weeks ago. I cannot believe this is happening after 5 years together. That is rough, Emma. Maybe it's time to confront him. When did this blind date exactly happen? What did he tell you? It was just last Saturday. He told me he's been single since college. Can you believe it? Making up stories about taking care of his sick mother, playing the sympathy card, saying that is why he could not meet me sooner. Unbelievable. When exactly did this blind date happen? Drew told me he was helping out a friend in trouble, but he drove 2 hours to see you. I'm sorry you're going through this. I hope you make him pay for what he has done. I was seething with anger, and to be honest, I would not be shocked if he was still with some girl while pretending to be with a buddy. At that moment, I questioned everything, my insecurities making me wonder where I went wrong. Despite my love for him, I knew I could not let him off the hook easily. No amount of love was worth staying in a marriage where I was disrespected. So before he returned home that night, I packed all his stuff into 2 travel bags. My plan was clear: confront him, face the truth, and kick him out of the house. I needed to stand up for myself. Drew finally got home late at night, and I was waiting for him by the kitchen counter. What's wrong, honey? Why do you look so furious? And what are these bags for? Are you going somewhere? No, I'm not going anywhere. You are. Enough with the jokes, honey. Can you please make me a cup of ginger tea? I'm extremely tired. Tired of what, Drew? Tired of lying around? Just so you can see other girls? Huh? What do you mean? You did not tell me you got stood up at a blind date last week. How did you know? Were you spying on me? You're crazy. No, it wasn't me. Turns out the person you were talking to was my cousin Alana, from the wedding, if you remember her. She saw you and fled the cafe. No, honey, there must be some misunderstanding. Is Alana sure it was me? Oh, come on, cut the crap. I read your conversations on Tinder. How low can you go? Why did you even get married to me if you had to do this? I don't have any answers for you. Don't worry, I have all the answers I need. Now take your bags and get out. Look at you bossing me around like that. You know what? It is a good thing your cousin saw me. Our relationship was getting boring anyway. I've been wanting to get rid of you for a long time now. All those other women out there are much better than you. Guess I made a wrong decision by marrying you, and you know what? Screw it. I was not even golfing today. I just met a girl who looks 10 times better than you. Not so deadbeat, without eye bags, and she did not look like a sack of bones either. I'm happily going to take the suitcase and leave you. Enough, Drew. This marriage is over. I'm glad it is. So, just like that, my worst fear came to life. Drew left me. And soon we got divorced. I held on to the hope that he might apologize, but no, he belittled me and claimed I was not good enough. In the beginning, I was insecure and isolated myself from everyone. Reality shows became my best friends. I would go to work, return home, lose myself in the drama of TV, forgetting even to eat. That was my life for a few months. But then my parents and friends stepped in. They uplifted me, urging me to seek therapy. Slowly, I started getting better. I joined yoga classes, adopted a pet cat, and created a strict schedule to keep my mind off the past trauma. It worked. After coming out of that dark phase, I knew I had to give love another chance. I started seeing other people, and then I met James. It happened at a friend's wedding. James, a charming Australian 3 years my junior, caught my eye. Despite the age difference, he exuded a maturity I had not found in many men. We began dating, and 4 months into our relationship, James surprised me by flying us to Australia to meet his family. I met his mother, Bonnie, and his sister, Elsie. Emma, James has told us so much about you. I can't believe how strong you are after everything you've been through. Mom, Elsie, Emma's been through a lot, and she's faced it all head on. I admire her strength every day. Seriously, Emma, I can't imagine going through what you did. You're like a superhero. Well, I don't have a cape, but I appreciate the sentiment, Elsie. It was tough, but honestly, meeting James has been a silver lining. He has helped me a lot with the way I used to feel about myself. You're like a breath of fresh air, Emma. We're lucky to have you here. One time, James tried to impress a girl by learning salsa dancing and ended up stepping on her toes the entire time. That's hilarious. I hope he's improved his dancing moves since then. Doubtful. But at least it keeps family gatherings entertaining. We have dinner at our uncle's tomorrow. You should totally meet the rest of the family. Yeah, you should. I would love that. Some might think I'm moving at warp speed. First, jetting off to Australia with James, and now meeting the whole family. But let me tell you, marriage with Drew taught me a thing or two. I had known the guy for ages, and where did that lead? Cheating, lies, and a one-way ticket to divorce. With James, I tossed caution to the wind and trusted my gut. Sometimes someone walks into your life and just showers you with love. In the few short months, he gave me the security I never got in all those years with Drew. It felt like an upgrade I really needed. His whole family was wholesome, giving me warm, fuzzy vibes all around. The trip was a refreshing change from the chaos of my life. So after a year of lovey-dovey stuff with James, he dropped the big question. James whisked me away to the place where our love story began. But hold on, it wasn't just any dinner. Nope. He went all out and booked a private table at the hotel where my friend got married. As we sat there in the middle of dinner, I kind of sensed he was going to do something big. Hey, Emma, we've been together for a year now, and honestly, what we have feels like something real. My family adores you, and well, I love you more than words can express. I know you've been through a lot with your ex-husband, the cheating and all the insecurities that followed. Oh, James, that's so sweet. I love you too. Some folks might think a year is too soon to ask this, and I'm not trying to rush you, but I've got this ring here, and I'd like you by my side for the rest of my life. You don't have to say yes right away. And even if you do, we don't have to run to the altar. Take all the time you need, but I just want you to be mine. Oh my God, James. Yes. Let's take it one step at a time. That sounds perfect. And, you know, my mom is already talking about grandkids. What? I'm just joking, babe. Like you said, one step at a time. So there we were, James and I, engaged and taking things slow. We decided that instead of jumping into wedding planning madness, we would just enjoy our lives as they were. The only notable change was that I had moved into James's place. Things were going well until one day, out of the blue, life threw me a curveball. I was at my favorite bakery, the one I had been frequenting since forever, picking up our usual order of special cronuts. And guess who I bumped into? None other than Drew. I could not believe my eyes. He looked surprised, probably as much as I did, but he was not alone. He was there with a woman. "Oh, hey, Emma. What a surprise. It's been a while." "Yeah, it has. Hi, Drew. And you are?" "Meet my girlfriend, Stacy." "Hey there. You're Emma, right?" "Yep, that's me, Drew's long-lost friend." "Well, you guys catch up. I was just leaving." "So, Stacy, huh?" "Yeah, she's great. Got her own little business that's picking up. She's a beauty with brains. And you? Anyone special?" "Oh, yeah. I've been seeing someone." "Serious?" "Yep, pretty much. We're engaged." "Well, good for you, Emma. I just wanted to say I'm sorry about how—" "Let's not go there, Drew. It's all in the past now. Stacy looks wonderful." "Oh, she is. I thought I'd introduced her to those cronuts you got me hooked on. This place is a hidden gem." "It sure is. Well, I need to get going. Goodbye. By the way, do you want to catch up sometime?" "I don't think so, Drew." There I was, minding my own business, enjoying some cronuts, and I tried not to think about the awkward encounter with Drew. But hey, we live in the same city, so I guess it was bound to happen sooner or later. Anyway, running into Drew was nothing compared to what hit me a week later. My body started acting all weird, and I had this feeling that it was time to take a pregnancy test. Lo and behold, turns out I'm going to be a mom. So there I was, feeling like life had finally aligned with my dreams. James was over the moon when I broke the news about the little one on the way. We shared our joy with our respective families, and let me tell you, their excitement matched ours, if not surpassed it. But you know, there was this one thing missing: a wedding. James and I were already engaged, and we thought, why not tie the knot? We didn't want to rush things, though. We decided to wait for another 4 months, giving me that perfect baby bump to flaunt in my dream wedding dress. The next 3 months turned into a whirlwind of doctor's appointments and meetings with the wedding planner. It was a lot to handle, but James and I were determined to make it work. We envisioned an intimate celebration with our closest loved ones. The guest list was short, and my baby bump was stealing the show. I wanted everyone to see how proud and happy I was. The day before my wedding, I was at my parents' house, as we did not decide to have a rehearsal dinner. It was a big and emotional evening with Mom when I received a call from Elsie, who was staying at our place with James and Bonnie. "Hey, Emma." "Hey, Elsie, is everything all right?" "Yeah, pretty much everything. I was just confused. James and Mom are out buying some last-minute essentials, and I'm home alone. A guy showed up with some cronuts asking me where you were." "Well, did you get his name? Who was it?" "No, I didn't, but I don't think it was one of your close friends, because when I told him about the wedding, he seemed shocked, almost like he didn't know about it." "Well, it must be some old acquaintance, I guess. So did you tell him that I was getting married?" "Yeah. He sounded curious, asking where you were and who I was. I told him that I'm your fiancé's sister and there's a wedding tomorrow. Now that I'm talking about it, it's just silly that I gave him all that information without even asking what his name was." "Oh, don't worry about it. I think I'll handle it. Just stay safe until Bonnie and James get home." "Sure thing." So I knew who it was, of course. Drew? I was confused. How did he even manage to get the address to James's place? I wondered if he had been following me, but I don't think he was so obsessed with me that he would do such a thing. After all, he was with Stacy. Maybe he saw me getting in and out of the apartment and figured I lived there? That day he wanted to catch up, and I said no, so perhaps he thought he might give it another try. Things just didn't add up, but it was my wedding the next day, and I didn't want to think about all that stuff. It's not like Drew was a dangerous guy. He was harmless. So I decided to mind my own business and, as per the doctor's orders, not stress myself over little things. It was finally the big day. The wedding was in the afternoon, so I started getting ready early in the morning. There was a lot of chaos at the venue, and I was in the hotel suite that I booked for me and my bridesmaids. We were all getting ready, and then it was time for the final ceremony. The music started playing, and my dad began Walking me down the aisle in front of me was James, and around me were all my loved ones seated. Just 4 steps into walking the aisle, I heard someone shout, "Hey, Emma!" I turned back, and it was Drew. I heard everyone whispering, "I need to borrow you for a minute." "Drew, you are making a fool of yourself. Just leave." "I'm not going until you talk to me." I looked at James right into his eyes from a distance, and he gave me a nod. "Everyone, we will do this in 5. I took Drew by his elbow and took him to the back. "Drew, are you really serious right now? I was literally walking down the wedding aisle and you interrupted. What would people think?" "Emma, please hear me out. I messed up big time and I need to talk to you." "Talk? You've got to be kidding me. I'm getting married today. This is so disrespectful to James and everyone here. I saw you on the street that day, heading to our favorite bakery. There's no Stacy. I paid a random girl $50 to help me make you feel jealous. I wanted to talk to you before it was too late." "Drew, are you serious? You paid someone to make me jealous? This is like something out of a bad teen movie." "Emma, listen. I've made mistakes. I thought I could find something better, but I was wrong." "Oh, spare me. Just listen, I know I messed up. I thought getting rid of you would be better, but I started seeing others. I was in a relationship with someone, but when I proposed, she came clean that she had been lying to me and she was already married. I was heartbroken. It's brutal out there. No one can love me like you did." "Do you even hear yourself? You want me back because no one else gives you the attention I did? Trust me. We can make this work. I will love this baby like my own." "Drew, you're a fool to think I'd give up my loving fiancé for a cheater like you. This is karma. You get what you put out in the universe. It is not my fault that you ended up heartbroken. And now you are here ruining my special day just for a little sprinkle of attention. I'm sad and lonely. We've known each other for a long time. I love you. You better save your love for someone else. Now get out before I call the cops. You've already created a huge scene." I was pretty bummed that my special moment got hijacked, but also kind of satisfied. You know, like karma doing its thing. Anyway, I decided not to let it ruin the whole deal and told everyone it was just a little misunderstanding. I finally made it down the aisle, exchanged vows, and got hitched. The reception, oh man, that was something else. Despite the hiccup, it turned out to be a blast. Surrounded by family and friends, there was laughter, music, and dancing. It was like the interruption never even happened. And then came a special speech by James. "Today is straight up magical. I mean, look at my glowing bride, Emma. From day one, I knew Emma was something else. She's not just my ride or die. She's the whole playlist to my life soundtrack. Her laugh is my favorite melody, and her smile is the sunshine that lights up my whole world. Emma, you're the missing puzzle piece that completes the whole game of life for me. And I have to tell you, I'm beyond thankful to have you as my partner in crime. Just know this, I'm going to have your back through all the highs, lows, and epic plot twists. Your kindness, your strength, and that love. It's like my heart does a happy dance every time I think about it. So here's to us, our love story, and all the epic moments waiting for us." So here I am, just dropping in with a little life update. So guess what? We are just a week away from welcoming our little munchkin into the world, and it's a girl. Now, I know my story might not be the craziest drama you've ever heard, but it's mine, you know. And maybe some of you out there can vibe with it, especially if you've dealt with cheating spouses, husbands or wives. We've all been there. Here is the real deal, though. Sometimes the sweetest revenge is just focusing on you being the absolute best version of yourself. Lives have this funny way of sorting things out, and what's meant to be will find its way. I thought Drew was my forever, and when that fell apart, I was in the dumps, but life had a surprise for me. Enter James, who is basically the upgrade I never knew I needed. So if you're going through a rough patch, just remember that brighter days are on the horizon. Keep shining.